I would never insult someone based on where they're coming from or based on their appearance or their look. I would never do that. If I insult you, I'm insulting you based on what you are doing right now, not based on where you're coming from.
She was talking to me. She now came. She saw Groovy beating. She was supposed to turn back.
Yeah.
She now stood. On many occasions, like, the person even a boss my head, and when I'm Groovy go dey bed, go come. Me and Groovy dey bed, go come Groovy.
Oh my God. You know, as at the time Bella was attacking Chichi over events that happened way back in week 1, guys, I was restless. I felt like jumping through my TV screen into the level up mansion and screaming out loud, shut the hell up, Bella. Honestly, guys, I was livid. The lies, oh my God, it was the lies for me. It was the way Bella was twisting the narratives. And I was thinking like, this girl, I don't understand. Do you think we're blind? Do you think we did not watch the show from day 1? That's for those of us that actually did watch the show from day 1. Oh my God, guys, the lies. It was insane. And whilst that was happening, Phyna was right there, acting all indifferent, you know, acting like, oh, I'm on a ghost mode. I'm mourning the eviction of my boyfriend Groovy, yeah? And then she was quiet. And then after Chichi had gone back into the house, immediately she jumped on the conversation with Bella, dragging Chichi. For the 3rd time this season, I sat and watched with excruciating pain how Phyna was throwing another friend under the bus, switching up on another friend again. And guys, guess what? Last night's conversation with Bella was not the first time that Phyna was doing that to Chichi.
Sheggz said that she's a two-sided person. It's the way they came downstairs, and when she started doing friendship with me, after everything she has said and done, said about me, the next thing Chichi just attacked Sheggz. They started crying. I didn't even put her again. So like, I've told her, the only thing I said is she's fake.
Earlier yesterday, before the live eviction show, Phyna had been engaged in a conversation with Sheggz and Bella, tearing down Chichi's reputation, guys. I was really disappointed. And trust me, I was on Twitter, tweeting away. Yes, I was tweeting. And of course, as usual, just as I predicted, the delusional fans, they jumped on my timeline. Oh, Glory, you're trying to decampaign Phyna. You're trying to decampaign Bella. And now all of you, shh, shh. Yeah, let's call a spade a spade. And that's what we're going to be doing on this video. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing on this video. Because guys, this week, now, agendas cannot agenda under my watch. I don't care about what anybody else does, but as long as I am watching, I am seeing what's happening in the show, and I have been seeing what's been happening on the show, agendas cannot agenda. No, narratives will not be twisted. I mean, these housemates, they had 9 whole weeks to twist narratives. But now that it's the finals, they are doing all the shenanigans. And guys, you know the most hilarious part of this whole thing was the way Bella and Phyna were going at Chichi in her absence, as though they could still exercise their nomination privileges this week, forgetting that in this final week, there's no more nominations. Now, it is now left to the viewers to choose their winner. And every housemate needs to be careful this week. The way they spin narratives, the way they behave, the way they misbehave. Guys, you know what? Let's get into this video. We're going to be unpacking the dramatic conversation, the petty conversation, you know, between Bella and Chichi and Phyna and Bella, guys. It's a lot to unpack, so please, I urge you all, watch to the end of this video. Do not skip one beat. And if you're new on here, thank you so much for choosing to click on this video to watch. But please do not leave without doing exactly what you see on your screen. And you all are absolutely welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bbnaija. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory, and I am the girl with the tea. Without much further ado, let's get into this video. The conversation at first started with Bella confronting Chichi about how she feels whenever they both have a misunderstanding.
I feel like when I literally have misunderstanding or disagreement, you always make it feel like maybe I'm insulting you based on where you're coming from, or based on how what
Yes, that
you
is how I feel because
Why
you
do you
already
feel like
told.
that?
Because week one, comments you made to me is like, even if they are dancers, they don't look the kind of dance that you do. You don't know how people.
How is that where you're coming from?
Now, Bella had posed the question to Chichi that why is it that whenever we have a misunderstanding, you always feel like I am attacking your background, where you're coming from. And Chichi had tried explaining to Bella that it is the things you say that make me feel the way I feel. She cited an example, a very perfect example of what had happened in week one. In week one, Bella and Chichi, I think they had been the first housemates in the level 1 house to have an altercation. Not really a massive one, but just a slight altercation. And Bella had been very, very harsh, guys. I'll never forget that altercation. Bella had been very harsh, and the way she had pounced on Chichi in that altercation, it had seemed as though she was ready to, shred her to pieces. Now, what had even happened in that week one? They had a task, their first wager task of the season. That was when the house was still divided into 2 levels, level 1 and 2. And so the level 1 housemates had gone ahead to group themselves for the task in Chichi's absence. Remember, in that first week, Chichi was the person that was literally cooking for the entire house most of the time. So Chichi was in the kitchen cooking at the time that the grouping had been done. And then by the time she came back, to see that everything had been done without her, she had requested for there to be a regrouping, so that the scale would be balanced. And that was when Bella had, just automatically pounced on Chichi. I vividly remember they were in the garden that day. They were all on that bed in the garden. And Bella had been very, 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 should I say, aggressive and harsh on Chichi. And that was when she had made reference to Chichi's background, and the way we are dancing is not the same way that you dance. Your own dance is different. I better go one side. Everybody that watched the show that day knew for a fact that Bella was being offhandish with Chichi based on the fact that she had introduced herself as a stripper, an exotic dancer. So I was listening to Bella last night, talking about, oh, I'm really disappointed that you feel that way. I'm really disappointed. I don't know you. Did I know you from anywhere in week one? Week one, I did not know anything about you. I'm like, Bella, you're lying. Bella, you're lying. Because, guys, if you all recall, from the night of the launch show, in the 2 levels, introductions had been done. So at that point in time, people at least had an idea what their fellow housemates was into. Their career path, or their skill, or their talent. They had an idea. Bella was the only person that did not really reveal much about herself. According to Bella that particular night, if you want to know anything about me, come and ask me, I will tell you. But for every other person, they had been very open about their lives. As a matter of fact, that week, there was a lot of castigations on Hermes, especially from Sheggz and Bella as well, including other people from their camp. Why? Because Hermes had introduced himself as being, one in a polyamorous relationship. So there was a lot of judgmental conversations in week one. So Bella had been heavily judgmental on Chichi in that first face-off. So when she was going on and on about, I did not know anything about you. I'm like, Bella, if you need receipts, don't worry, when you come out, I'll give you receipts. But for now, you're lying. You're lying. And it was very obvious that Bella was heavily trying to twist Chichi's narrative. Why? She started talking about, you want to win, and stop looking for pity votes, you are trying to come with that pity narrative, blah, blah, blah.
I would never insult someone based on where they're coming from or based on their appearance or their look. I would never do that. If I insult you, I'm insulting you based on what you are doing right now, not based on where you're coming from. I don't think about that. I don't think that far when I'm having an argument with you. What's the problem? If you want to win based on pity, please win based on pity. I don't involve you in that.
I'm like, Bella, no. As a matter of fact, you, Bella, are the one looking for pity votes. Because it was very obvious that last night, Bella was desperately looking for a way to change our own narrative. I mean, guys, think about it. For 9 weeks, Bella had not really formed any bond with any other housemate at all. Even the chumsy and the so-called doing, she had not really formed any bond with any of these housemates. She's only been behind the shadows of Sheggz. Yes, I mean behind the shadows. Not even as Sheggz shadow, but behind the shadows of Sheggz. She had no major personality of her own. She had no major highlight that she could create for herself. She was only riding on Sheggz highlights, on Sheggz parade. The story of Bella in this season of Big Brother Naija has 99% of it, as all about Sheggz. So she realized that, oh my God, this is the final week. Am I going to win the show or not based on my story with Sheggz? And then she also had a moment of realization that, wow, people are going to misunderstand Sheggz. I mean, that's her words. And then she started trying to justify her relationship with Sheggz before she now started attacking Chichi, talking about, is it because I did not share my story?
What she's trying to do, anytime we fight, you go and does, she's fighting me based on, she knows where I'm coming from. Where are you coming from? Do you know where I'm coming from? Or is it because I'm here, like, not trying to say anything?
It's okay, please.
You don't know where I'm coming from as
You're
well.
already dragging this.
Don't say that. Please, stop.
It's okay, it's my issue.
Is it because I did not share myself? I'm like, Bella, more hear what? Like, hold your peace, Bella. Who told you not to share your own story? You had 9 weeks to share your story. Aside the Dano task, who would have known any single thing about Bella on the show this season? Really, who would have? And guys, I loved Chichi's response to Bella.
There's no big deal saying, oh, sorry, but I never knew you were feeling down. If you can't say that, just stop, because then there's no need asking me in the first place. So for you to tell me that you are disappointed in me for feeling that way, you will not tell me how to feel.
According to Chichi, you cannot tell me how to feel. That was how I felt when you said what you said to me, and you are lying that you knew nothing about me. You knew things about me. You knew my background. You knew because we shared our stories. And so, Bella, it would have been very easy for you to just apologize. If you did not want to apologize, why did you call for the conversation? I said, good question, Chichi. Why did Bella call for the conversation if she did not want to apologize? I mean, guys, Chichi was right 100%. You cannot, guys, how many times have we said it on this channel? You cannot tell people or dictate to people how to feel or react to your triggers, to your offenses, to your provocation. So Bella saying to Chichi, oh, I'm disappointed you felt that way. I'm like, wow, Bella, open your mind and understand that Big Brother Naija season 7 does not revolve around Bella. That every single thing in that house, in this world, does not revolve around Bella. Know that. And no peace. Now, whilst Chichi and Bella were having that go at each other, Bella was heavily seeking support from Phyna, who was right there still stewing in her misery over Groovy's eviction. And then Chichi, in her own very mature way, deaded that conversation. And the moment she was done talking to Bella, without even throwing insults at Bella or anything, she just walked back into the house, went to her room, and went to bed straight. She went to sleep. And even though Rachel and Cheesy were throwing jabs at her, throwing slight insults at her, she did not even come out. She did not even answer anybody. Babe just went to bed, and I'm like, Chichi, that was a good choice. That was just the best thing for Chichi to have done. Because I'm sure that Chichi was very aware that those people were trying to trigger her. And so she did not get the bait. She did not fall for it at all. She tried to stay in her own safe space, to just wash out last night. Now, after Chichi had gone back into the house, that was when Phyna jumped on that conversation. She jumped on that conversation like she had been waiting for that moment all her life. Oh my God, guys. And that was when she started dragging and shredding Chichi to pieces. And ladies and gentlemen, it was really sad.
I was talking to him. She now came. She saw me beaten. She was supposed to turn back up. Yeah. She now stood. In many occasions, like, the part even in boss my head, and I only am going to go bed. Go come. Me and go bed. Go come.
Guys. Hey, God. See, if there's another word for disappointment, that was what I felt listening to Phyna and Bella's conversation last night. Phyna wholeheartedly, the same way she had been dragging Beauty, the same way she had been dragging Amaka, that was the same way she was dragging Chichi. Over what? Guys, from all what she was saying to Bella, she was insinuating that Chichi was coming for a man, for Groovy. That every time that she and Groovy they are together, Chichi will come and be calling Groovy. Like yesterday and the other day, Saturday, that in the morning when Chichi was calling everybody to come to the lounge without giving a reason, that Chichi saw her awake. Instead of Chichi to call her, Chichi was calling Groovy. That why are you calling my man? Why are you calling Groovy? And hey God, guys, It was unbelievable. Phyna went on and on and on, citing different examples, different scenarios, and it was so disgusting that everything pointed to the direction of her accusing Chichi of trying to snatch Groovy from her or trying to seduce Groovy or whatever, guys. But that was just the same old conversation, all revolving around a man. I was irritated. I was disappointed. I was disgusted, guys. And I was thinking, over a man that has continuously told you in this particular week 9 that he does not love you, he only really likes you. You have been indirectly, pushing for a serious and committed relationship with this guy. That his longest relationship was actually just 6 months. You are here, throwing all your friends, all your genuine friends on the show under the bus over that. Wow. Guys, the conversation did not stop there. It dragged and dragged for long as Bella seized that opportunity to start, spilling all the things that Chichi used to say about Phyna in previous level 1. She said a whole lot, even lied about some of them, even twisted some of the stories.
Just to tell me, I want to a different level that she got love for me, that me to say she used to fight for me, not them to put me up. That she's the one always fighting.
Like, isn't it better for her not to even say anything to you than for her to be lying to you?
This is what she said to me.
That's really bad. That's really, really bad.
And then she now brought up that scandalous gossip, that Amaka had actually spread about Phyna and Groovy, having things to do under the sheets in the house. And then, hey God, Bella was not lying that Chichi was the one that actually carried the gossip. Jesus Christ, guys. At that point in time, I almost fainted. I said, "Chai!" Manipulation at its peak. Like, guys, Phyna was so myopic that, she could not even see that Bella was really milking that moment, milking that opportunity, capitalizing, leveraging on that moment, to sow a seed of discord against Chichi in Phyna's mind. And she fell for it, yakata. She fell for it stupidly. She fell for it completely. She was now talking about everything. Like, guys, she was just talking about everything that she and Chichi had been talking about. Guys, don't get me wrong. Let's call this a spade as always. Listen, Chichi is not a saint. So this video is not to campaign for Chichi or to campaign Bella and Phyna. No way. Guys, Chichi is not a saint. However, she has been able to own up to her bullshit to Phyna. She has told Phyna, now listen, upstairs, the way you made me feel at different points in time, she painted all the scenarios. I said things. I reacted in certain ways towards you. So now we're cool. Guys, they have settled their differences. What are we talking about? They've settled their differences. But then, from what I could deduce from all of Phyna's petty and malicious slandering of Chichi, I could deduce that Phyna was obviously pained that Chichi did not use a second option for a Supreme Veto Power save, right? To save Groovy. Guys, in my head, I was thinking, wow, the dirty entitlement of it all. It was very obvious that with the way she was pained last night at Groovy's eviction, she was transferring all the aggression on Chichi. She was pained. She was that pained. For her, it was Chichi's fault that Groovy was evicted. Guys, how pathetic. Guys, that was just it for me. That was just it. Yes, the conversation had started earlier in the day, yesterday, but last night, it was very obvious that Phyna had made up her mind that no, this girl, I cannot trust you because you had 2 options. You should have saved me and my boyfriend. At that point in time, I just knew that Phyna lacked common sense in the game. Because really, Phyna, if Phyna was actually hoping that Chichi had saved herself and Groovy to the finals, would she have even agreed for Groovy to win the money? Okay, let's say for instance now, Phyna wins, the prize at the end of the day, right? Would she have opened her eyes, all for love, all for man? Would she have carried the money and presented it to Groovy and said, Groovy, take? How does that girl even reason? How does that girl even think? I've said this before. We even said it on Saturday during our YouTube live stream that Phyna has loyalty issues with friends. What does it take? We understand that this is a game, but when you've seen that these people have your back, at least the least you can do is to be loyal. It was loyalty that earned Daniela a spot in the finals. It's not because Daniela is too much of a good person. No, it was loyalty that earned her a spot in the house. It is the same loyalty that has earned Daniela the respect that she has amongst the whole 28 level of housemates. But for Phyna, guys, you needed to have heard the follow-up conversation that Adekunle, Daniela and Brian were having about Phyna and Bella's gossip session. Oh my God, because at some point, Rachel had sent Brian to the garden to go and call Phyna and Bella to come and eat. And Brian had eavesdropped on the conversation I had heard, and according to him, he had told them to dead the conversation because this is not the right time. This is not the week for them to be saying all what they are saying, that it's the wrong time. But they did not listen. They continued talking. So Brian had come into the house and they were having conversation. And Adekunle was laughing. Adekunle said all through yesterday, Phyna had been telling everybody that was up for nomination that they were all going home. That the only person who was going to stay, was Groovy. Now, even though it seemed as though Phyna was joking, but that was a bad joke. It was not the right timing for such a joke. And then look at the shocker of her life. Groovy got evicted. So guys, it was so annoying. I was really deeply disappointed in Phyna last night. I mean, I know that Bella can say whatever, but Phyna, okay, I don't even say I'm even disappointed in Phyna because she has a leaking mouth. Phyna opens her mouth and wow, she says whatever she wants to say. Oh yes, don't get me wrong, her vibe, her energy, she's very creative, innovative, very, very entertaining, rich content to watch, TV-worthy content. But talking about someone that has integrity, someone that has loyalty, someone that values relationships, not even friendships only, but relationships, Phyna lacks in all of that. And it's really appalling. And then I thought that she was going to dead that conversation with Bella in the garden. But guess what? By the time they went back into the house, she was trying to infect Rachel with that virus of a conversation. She went to the fridge. Rachel was asking her a simple question, and then she was telling Rachel, oh, I have trust issues, blah, 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 blah. Knowing fully well that Rachel would jump on the question of oh, what happened? And Rachel did. And then she started talking about Chichi. Oh, and Chichi has been yarning a lot of things. Guys, it was conversations from Chichi and other housemates that interrupted their flow. I am very sure that this new week, there's going to be another gang up against Chichi. And what Phyna and Bella do not know is that you cannot toy with the viewers like that. The viewers can easily change their minds at any point in time. Remember, we have 6 options for our top 6 for the finalists. So, hey, forget the fact that everybody is shouting, hey, this person has to win, that person has to win. Trust me, when the housemate does not have sense, when the housemate does not borrow themselves sense, and you want to choose the finals to slander a fellow housemate that also has their own fan base rooting for them, instead of you to spend the final week to be having fun, be rejoicing, thanking your stars or whatever the hell you believe in, that oh yes, I made it to the finals, you want to spend it to be the campaigning another housemate, thinking that housemate does not have people that are voting for them, shooting yourself in the leg, man. You are. And that was exactly what Bella and Phyna were doing last night. People were angry, people were livid, especially at Phyna, because those 2 people were obviously spewing some very, very disgusting narratives about Chichi. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this conversation here on my own part. I would love to hear what you all think about all that was discussed last night between those people in the comment section below. That said, I'll see you guys on another video soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.